I'm pleased to have with me today one of the contenders for the Prime Ministership of Canada, the Honourable Maxime Bernier, the leader of a new Canadian political party, the People's Party of Canada. He was Minister of Industry, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Minister of State for Small Business and Tourism in Stephen Harper's Conservative government. And he was an MP for the riding of Beauce for 13 years and is currently running for election there.
So right now, like I said, we are paying, because the inflation in Canada, it's 4.1%. That's the official inflation in Canada right now. But if you do your grocery, you know that the inflation, the real inflation is bigger than that, 5-6% inflation. So that's why I said inflation is a hidden tax, because with the same money that you have in your pocket, you cannot buy the same amount of goods and services with that money. Your purchasing power is going down. Your standard of living is going down. All prices are going up and everybody's poor. So inflation is a hidden tax, and we are paying right now.
Why don't you trust the official inflation rate figures? Why do you think it's higher than they state? And where do you think that's primarily showing up?
Because the way that they calculate the inflation, Statistic Canada and the Bank of Canada, it's a basket of goods and services. And in that basket, they don't put everything. So yes, we have a 4 or 5% inflation in our grocery, but globally, Statistic Canada is telling us that it's 4.1%. But 4.1%, it is huge. The Bank of Canada has an inflation target of 2%. Now it's more than 2%, it's 4.1%. But 20% inflation is no good, 10% inflation is not good, 2% is not good. We must have an inflation target of 0%. And if we have that, the Bank of Canada won't be able to print money out of thin air and creating inflation, because the inflation is created by the Bank of Canada. We want to have, for the Bank of Canada, a zero inflation target.
Cryptocurrency types, the people who are pushing Bitcoin in particular, make the extraordinarily radical claim that it would be better for everyone if the entire business of money was taken out of the hands of government permanently. And that's essentially what Bitcoin allows, at least at the present time. And so that means that central bankers and politicians would, in principle, assuming this is actually a possibility, would never be able to print money, and they would never be able to inflate currency. And what do you think about those sorts of cryptocurrency claims? And I'd like to know what you think about that in general.
I agree with that. I think they're right. We have a fiat currency right now, and that's why this inflation, and we are losing our purchasing power. Yes, I believe that we must have more competition, and the cryptocurrencies and the Bitcoin can be an alternative. But personally, I prefer a gold standard like we had in the 19th century here in Canada, because when you have a gold standard, the central bank won't be able to print money out of thin air. It's another way to control the central bank. So, and we had that before in the past, in the 19th century, and that was very prosperous time, prosperous century. So, but I'm not against the cryptocurrency. I think we must have more competition. You're absolutely right on that.
So the Austrian economists, the Hayek types, and they believe that the business cycle is actually, the boom and bust business cycle is actually produced by the attempts by government to overspend in the face of so-called crises, and that produces inflation and a variety of other factors that then produce the business cycle in turn, this sequence of essential busts and booms. And so does that seem like a reasonable proposition to you, or do you look at it differently than that?
No, I think you're absolutely right, Jordan. Hayek, Mises, Rothbard, that they're real economists, and they know that, and they're the only one that wrote about that and studied that. And I believe, yes, the circle that we have, the up and downs in the economy, it's because of the central bank. Money is everywhere, and if you create too much money out of thin air, you'll have inflation and distortion in the economy and boom and boost that we have. So I 100% agree with Mrs. Rothbard, Hayek, and these economists.